Hey guys, hope you're having a good day and are ready for a video and technical analysis of Christian Che. So this isn't part of my underrated series videos. This is just purely a technical analysis because Christian Che. I hope to God he's not underrated. I don't know anybody who would ever underrate such a man. Um, I feel like he's a modern day thrower, one of if not the best in the world. He's definitely top three. I'm not here to get into that debate though, but I think he has very underrated technique, and I think he does three things really well. One is the basics. Two is rhythm, and three is timing. Um, there's a fourth thing he does really well. Throw with ease on every throw. Every throw, and I know this is going to be a bold statement. I believe he is probably looks like he's not throwing hard 70-meter thrower. And I realized what I just said made zero sense. So let me try and say that again. When he's the only 70-meter thrower that doesn't look like he's throwing 70 meters, if that makes sense. What I'm trying to say is every throw he does is just so effortless. It's just crazy how effortless he throws. Obviously, he's 6'9", 6'9", probably close to 300 pounds, probably 280, and just an absolute behemoth of an individual. Obviously, he's the world champion in 2022. He's the silver medalist in the 2023 World Championships. He's just him. That's all I can really say about him in terms of that. He's still really early in his career, really young. This is just a training throw from his YouTube channel, which I suggest everyone go look and subscribe. I think it's just his name. Actually, it's right here. I went too far. There we go. All right, here. So go subscribe to him because he posts training videos and stuff. And yeah, let's get into the technical analysis. So first, we'll just do a run through. Well, first, okay, let's just start off. This is just some training throw that I just particularly really like because I think it really just showcased everything he does really well. So obviously, he's not going all out here. Because it's training. He doesn't even attempt. Oh, actually, he does stay in. He actually usually doesn't practice fouls. But honestly, someone at this level doesn't really need to. Whatever. That doesn't really matter. I'm not even going to get into whole soliloquy. I'm going to try and stay on point and not get into like concepts and theories and whatnot. I'm just going to try and do. It's going to be very hard for me to do. So I get super excited in these videos. Just a technical read through and just stick to my points. So this doesn't end up being a 30-minute long analysis when it really doesn't need to. So let's get into it. So let's just watch that one more time, regular speed. So you notice he doesn't move like a traditional discus thrower. Like he doesn't do a lot of things that you're taught. He does do a lot of things that you're taught, but he does one very weird thing. And I guess not even weird, it's more unique. It's something that normally you would think would be wrong. And this is it right here. So before we get there, first of all, just nice, relaxed wind up. Hits a nice tee. That's a terrible tee that I drew. Wow, I can't draw a line. It's at an angle, but he's on a tee. So that's what you want. Evenly distributed weight across the hips. Nice, relaxed wind. The wind should be very, very comfortable, which it looks like it is. Because, he's done it forever. Just sinks, so I really like this. So it turns, sinks, and yeah, just sorry, I was getting a call. just no, sorry. What was I saying? Sorry, I got really distracted right there. Um, um, oh yeah, so really sinks out the left, out the back onto his left, stays in this nice quarter squat so he doesn't pop up. He doesn't pop. Oh, okay, he sinks a little down. It's okay to sink down, but he doesn't go too down. So he doesn't just fully squat down, because the lower you are, the slower you'll be, or the harder it will be to move. So he just squats down enough to just put the weight on. So he's more in like a quarter squat, which is about what you need to be. And then this left side is textbook right here. So he's reaching over to his left to get his body weight over. All right. And yeah, so let's get to this right side. So because I really like what his left side is doing. His right side. Now, if I got someone who obviously didn't throw as far as Kristjan Che, and they were doing this out the back, I would say that's a problem. However, what Kristjan Che does from this position makes up for it, and I'll explain why. So, what I believe is wrong, I put in quotation marks, because this isn't really a good typical thing to do. You don't really see like any good person do this, really. Especially someone who throws over 71 meters. Is normally you're taught, one of the basic rules in discus throwing is just keep the discus behind you all the time. Never let it catch up to your hip. And as you can see here, the discus is honestly a little ahead of his hip, if not in line. And this isn't just a bad throw, this is just how he throws. So, normally, one would say this is wrong, which I would argue it is. I don't know why he does this. It might just be comfortable. It's certainly a lot easier to do. But something easy doesn't necessarily mean it's good in the throw, really. You want to make the movements become easy, but normally this isn't really a good position to be in, because the reason why is because there's no tension. There's no tension in the chest. There's no separation in the throw. So between the upper and lower body, it's just moving at the same time. But what he does here, so let's back up. So I'm going to play this in regular speed. I want you to notice how he just slams his left foot out the back, and he just doesn't really turn. He turns it all the way, and he just stops it forever. Oops. Let me back up there a little more. I want you to notice this. So, I don't know if you guys could pick that up, but he just stops his left foot. So I want you to notice how this left foot does not move at all. And what this does is it basically acts like a block in the front. But he kind of blocks out the back with his left foot. How it just does a hard stop. It's a hard stop. And, sorry, this person's blowing up my phone right now. Sorry, I had to respond to a text. What was I saying? So he does a hard block out the back. All right, so he does this hard block that transfers so much energy into his sweep leg, and it just really just speeds his right side up considerably, and more his right leg and I guess his whole right side, but mainly his right leg. So this is where he gets the tension. So now he has so much tension. And the other part of this is that he holds his chest forever. So you notice how he's actually his head and his eyes are looking down this sector forever. It's like he's still looking even when his right foot lands. So what this does is it creates the separation. So now he has unbelievable separation here. So that's That's why he can get away with that. Normally, people are not good enough, athletic enough, or advanced enough to do that. So, normally, I would say don't throw like this because it's incredibly hard to do. So, I believe it's more of just a natural thing that just works for him. And, it might work for you. Who knows? I don't know you. Um, I mean, if something's not working, don't do it, obviously, but, just because Christian Che does something doesn't mean you need to do it, because he's a one of a kind athlete that can, and when you're 6'9", you can get away with a lot of stuff. So yeah, that's a thing to get away from this. But he carries the discus, so he carries the discus very weird. So it doesn't look like he has a lot of separation if you just like watch his throw in regular motion, but when you break it down, he creates so much separation. And I also want you to notice how aggressive he is in his sprint out the back. So he has so like super good timing out the back. So one, he turns all the way out the back with his left side, stops his chest. Now he's sprinting with his left foot. So he's sprinting with his left foot. At the same time, really hard sweeping into the right, into the middle. And then the timing. So you always want this left leg to be off the ground before the right leg passes it. So you notice, so when the left foot leaves the ground, really there, his right foot is still on the right side of the sector. So that's what you want the timing to be. The reason is that the harder you sprint out the back, the more energy and the easier it is and the faster it is for this left foot to get down in the front. All right, so you're here, boom, pushes off. And then the timing is, so say his right foot got down here and his left foot was still back at the back of the ring. He wouldn't really get any power from it. He would just be walking through. He'd just be like taking a big step. But here he pushes off. And you can always tell by two things whether you had a really good sprint. By three things. One is just getting across the ring. Two is if your left foot leaves the ground when your right side, when your sweep leg is on the right side of the ring. And this is for a right-handed thrower, obviously. Then you had a good sprint or good timing to get a good sprint. And then for sure if you had a really good sprint if this position happens with his legs. So you notice, so he lands here, really nice here, but you notice how his left foot is basically in line with his right knee, or his left knee and right knee are basically in line with each other, instead of his left knee being super back here. So now he has all this time. He doesn't have he really has no time, which is good, to put his left foot down, which is what you want. So you notice how fast it gets down there. And obviously this is a training throw, so it's not like the best throw ever. He's just training. I think this is early off season too. So I don't think it was, it's obviously not one of his better throws. I think so. I have no idea about that though. I could be totally wrong. Even though this is still a fantastic throw, which is why I'm analyzing it. So, but yeah. And then, his finish. So he lands here. Me personally, I would coach him to have his right foot pointing more to 90 instead of here. But that's a nitpick thing, really, because he turns super well on it. Really grinds his hip, and boom, right there. So he kind of lets the disc kind of catch up just a little bit, but not bad at all. Yeah, I mean, so he throws very uniquely. It works for him. Would I say do what he does? I would say lower body wise, yes. His legs, I love what he does with his lower body. His upper body's like it works for him. Like, it's really good. I would say, especially for a beginner, do not throw like Kristjan J. Do not. The things that he does are so extraordinary and just takes so much body awareness, so much athleticism, so much timing, so much reps, so much experience to be able to do, like, pull off what he does. Because normally, if someone comes out the back like this, the disc just stays with their hip. They don't normally get this separation. So, you know, which is why he can get away with this and throw 71 meters. But yeah. And so I didn't really break down his finish. So, you know, so he gets here, left foot lands, lets the disc catch up a little, but then what he does here is he really pushes against the ground, finishes square, so the disc is out of his hand, hips are square to the sector, right there. And I want you to notice, so he just stays on this left leg for eternity and really stays on this block. This left side block just stays there forever. And he gets a really good, nice out on the discus. So boom, right there, and gets so much out on it. So it's a thing of beauty. His releases are always so nice, so nice. Oh, that's such a beautiful flight. And then he just reaches long. Yeah, so again, it's not like the most textbook throw. See, like right here, so he under-rotated a little. So like his left foot, oops. Oh wow, I cannot draw a line. Let me back this up. His left foot's here, around there. And then he reverses to here. So he under-rotated. I think he's had better releases than this, like better finishes with his hips. So, you know, I don't think that's a typical thing that he does. I could also be wrong about that, because I haven't really actually sat down and broke Kristjan Chase down to that extent, multiple throws of him doing that, but so I could be totally wrong and he just is a chronic under-rotator. I tend to believe that he isn't, considering the level that he throws at. I find it very hard to believe that he does that. But then again, I could be totally wrong about that. I'm not gonna claim that I'm that much of a fanatic of Kristjan Che. But yeah. So overall, I love watching him throw. I would not recommend throwing like him though. He's one of those people, like, you know, like Adam Nelson, really. Like, he does quirky things, works for him. Would I say do what they do? Nope. I would not say what they do, because what they do works for them, if that makes sense. But anyway, hope you guys enjoyed this video. Let me know if you want to see me analyze another thrower, and see you all next time.